Hello, welcome to my channel, YiaYia's Heart Tarot. For those of you who are new, welcome. For those of you who are returning, thank you for sticking with me. It's been quite a while since I've been here on the channel. I have been fighting with a wrist and thumb issue and have been in a brace for at least a couple of months, perhaps a little bit longer. Still potentially have up to maybe 4 months to go. It is improving. I have been using some peppermint infused oil that I've made from my garden, as well as meditation to heal this. And it seems to be, like I said, it does seem to be improving. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to more frequent readings here soon. But I did want to come on today and do some readings for the Lionsgate portal. This is such an important energy, and I've gotten so many powerful messages, some of which just clarified yesterday. So I wanted to speak about that for a minute or so before I get into the readings. I earlier this year was guided to travel and join with some people, one of whom I knew quite well and 3 others that I knew almost not at all, to perform a very powerful ceremony that seemed to be centered around healing the trauma that was absorbed by Mother Earth with regard to slavery in the area where I traveled. There's a lot more to it than that, but recently I have gotten a number of messages about the Holocaust, about apartheid, and I felt that these messages were more general than specific, basically drawing my attention to very, very traumatic times in our history. I also have gotten some messages, one in particular that was very specific. I heard that I was not to ground at this time, that to ground would only increase confusion, and that I was to find some body of running water and place my feet in the water to experience the flow of the water. At the time, I didn't know what this meant. The flowing water part, I was happy to try to do. I live in Nebraska, and so we don't have beautiful, clear running streams like in the mountains and other parts of the country. So it was a little tricky to find flowing water to put my feet in, but I did eventually, which I very much enjoyed. But the part about not grounding, because grounding would increase confusion, confused me, quite honestly. But just yesterday, and the Lionsgate portal in some parts of the world was already at its peak when this message dropped in for me. But I came to understand that the messages about the Holocaust and apartheid and slavery, and the messages about grounding into the earth, increasing confusion, suddenly came together for me. I came to understand, and I suspect that this was a channeled message, but I came to understand that for years and perhaps millennia, Mother Gaia has been absorbing from us the traumatic energy that we have thrown at one another, that we have heaped upon one another, the just the tremendous trauma that we have inflicted upon each other. I came to realize that if we were to continue to hold the trauma, the traumatic energy from all of the acts of cruelty throughout our history as a species, we would long ago have ceased to be. And even prior to becoming extinct, we would have been reduced to a state of not really being able to function for quite some time. I came to understand that Mother Gaia has absorbed from us much of the trauma that we have inflicted on one another, so that our energy could continue to exist, to flow, to be manageable for us. We are divinity in a material form, and I believe that our purpose here in this material existence is to anchor that divinity here in this earth plane so that it can do work. In order for that divinity to flow through us, we have to lighten our energetic load from all of the energies that I've been speaking of, that are heavy, that are dense, that are cruel. So, knowing this, Mother Gaia, in her sacred wisdom, has pulled much of this energy away from us so that we can continue to function and continue to do our work of anchoring divinity here in this realm. But what I've come to understand is that of late, with the start of the age of Aquarius, Mother Gaia has begun to get to a point where her energy, her sacred energy, is so bound up with this cruelty and this low, dense energy that she has pulled graciously, as any mother would, from her children, from us, so that we would not have to feel the extent of the pain that we create and that we inflict upon one another and inflict upon our world. With holding that energy for us, her own energy has become slowed and bound up so that it also does not flow or cannot flow well. And we actually rely upon Mother Gaia's energy to help us flow. We may not be aware of this. Some of us are, many of us are not. But in order for this entire world to exist and to function, we rely upon Mother Gaia's energy flow to help everything come together, to be connected, so that energetically we can interact with one another, so that energetically we can build and we can heal. Many of the things that we take for granted are actually gifts from Mother Gaia. But with all of the trauma that she has pulled away from us so that we are protected from that trauma, her sacred energy has become trauma laden. So with the Lion's Gate portal and the beginning of the age of Aquarius, the opening of this portal to allow light codes to come in to help us unburden our DNA and to activate dormant DNA so that we can begin to ascend and elevate our energy and exist in a higher energy, in a higher plane, in a more divine state. We need Mother Gaia's assistance to be able to do this. We need to be connected and interwoven and to be able to feel one another, to be able to feel all of the elements of our world, but in particular, to be able to feel the network of energy from our species to each other, to connect as one, to connect as the energetic beings that we are. And in order to do that, we have to have the connection to Mother Gaia, because spatially, since we are a material being and we are incarnated in a material body, we do have a certain level of separation. It's not as profound as we like to believe that it is, but there is a certain level of separation that makes it more difficult for the energetic communication that will become necessary, that is necessary for us to ascend to the next level of energy. So to be able to experience the level of connection that we need to be able to accept these light codes into our DNA, into our energetic space, we need the assistance of Mother Gaia to help the network flow so that we are more connected, even in the material realm, via Mother Gaia. Didn't mean to rhyme there, sorry. So, I've come to realize, and I apologize that this has been lengthy, that those of us who are healers, and probably even those of us who don't consider ourselves healers, because I believe we are all in certain respects healers, but those of us who know ourselves to be healers, and those of us who are star seeds or light beings in particular, are now being called to heal the trauma and that is held by Mother Gaia, that is trapped within her energetic being. We now must step up and help to heal that trauma, to help her release that trauma, so that the energy within Mother Gaia can begin to flow more easily through the entire network that connects this planet. Once that energy begins to flow more easily, more lightly, in a higher vibration, we, as beings on this planet, as light beings, as energetic beings, will also be able to feel that flow, and that will facilitate being able to feel the connection between all beings here on this earth. So, in order for the ascension to happen, that is beginning now at a very rapid pace, one of the things that must happen is we must free up Mother Gaia's energy, and she needs our help. So that's a message that I'm feeling very called to send out, so that all of my light worker friends, all of my light worker contacts, all of the light workers can begin to understand this message and pass it on to their light workers, and to pass it on to their light workers in their network, in their tribes, so that we can create a ripple that will move all the way through the light worker community and the community in general, so that we can all, in our own ways, begin to help Mother Gaia heal, thus begin to heal ourselves, and to begin to heal this world, to create an environment where this ascension can take place for us. So in that interest, I have created a spread for the Lion's Gate that I would like to do 3 readings. The cards within this reading will address what I've been talking about and your place within this task that needs to be committed, that needs to be completed, or at least that needs to be started. So what we're going to ask today is, what do you bring to the table? What are your strengths? What is your mission? What you must release? What you will bring in anew? How you will connect with the new energies that are coming in? And what is your victory? So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to do 3 readings. The first reading is Citrine sphere. The second reading will be a clear quartz Merkaba. And the third reading will be a brass dragon. Okay, so we've got the citrine sphere, clear quartz Merkaba, and the brass dragon. Now I'm going to draw some oracle cards, an oracle card for each, so that you'll have the items to choose from, and then also the oracle card I'm going to draw from my new sigil deck. So, no, I'm not. Yeah, I am. So each one of these will have a sigil. I'm not going to read the cards at this point. They also have a sentiment on them. But for the moment, I'm just going to show you the sigil on each card that I draw. So, without further ado, Spirit, thank you for assisting us in this reading, and please call in. I ask to call in my higher self, my spirit guides, my spirit team, to assist me in whatever way they feel is for the highest good. I call in my divinity, and I call in the higher selves of those who wish to receive this reading. So for group 1, what card do we have for group 1, please? What sigil do we have for group 1? And for those of you who don't know what a sigil is a symbol that has magical properties, that is created out of oftentimes the letters of the sentiment or the wish that you have, or the power that you wish to bestow on the sigil. Sometimes the sigils are created from symbols that have to do with what you wish for the sigil to accomplish. For instance, if you want to create a sigil for protection against evil, you might include evil eye in your sigil. You might include some convolution of the letters of black tourmaline, perhaps, a very protective stone, something along those lines. So this is the sigil for group 1. The sigil for group 1. So we'll put this with group 1. Spirits for group 2, please. The clear quartz Merkaba. What sigil can we have for group 2, please? You know what? I think I will go ahead and read the sentiment on these. For group 1, it says, I trust in the universe and I am ready to take the leap. I trust in the universe and I am ready to take the leap. That is with the citrine sphere. Group 2, please. Just one card, please. Thank you. So this is the sigil for group 2. And on this card it says dark, murky, inner work. Dark, murky, inner work. Interesting that that's with the clear quartz Merkaba, because Merkaba, well, the clear quartz obviously is not dark and murky, and the Merkaba is a very high vibing symbol. So that's an interesting juxtaposition there. And thank you, Spirit, for that. And now one card, please, for group 3, the brass dragon. One card, please, for group 3, the brass dragon. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. And this is the sigil for group 3. And it says the willingness to try. The willingness to try. Okay, friends. So let me go through them one more time. For group 1, we have the citrine sphere and the sigil that says, I trust in the universe and I am ready to take the leap. For group 2, we have the clear quartz Merkaba and the sigil that says dark, murky, inner work. And for group 3, we have the brass dragon and the sigil that says the willingness to try. So once you make your choice, the timestamps will be in the description. Simply choose which reading you would prefer to hear, to receive. Click on that timestamp and it'll take you directly to your reading. You're always, of course, welcome to listen to as many readings as you feel called to. And I'll see you at your reading. All right, group 1. This is your reading, the Citrine and Trust in the Universe group. I'm going to call this Trust and Leap. Citrine Sphere and Trust and Leap. I'm doing this reading a little differently than I normally do, and I'm also probably a little bit rusty, so bear with me. I'm going to use both Oracle and Tarot cards for this. We're going to give this a try, see how it goes. So I'm going to get an Oracle card and a Tarot card for each of the positions, and then we'll see how it goes as far as clarifying after that. So the first question that we have is, what do you bring to the table, group 1? What are your strengths with regard to the Lion's Gate portal and this mission to heal Mother Gaia? What are your strengths? What do you bring to the table? Actually, I'm not going to ask the questions just yet. I'm going to get all of the positions, I think, and then we'll go over it. Spirit, thank you for that. Let's get a tarot card for each position, please. For the first position, your strengths are what you bring to the table. We got the oracle card that we got is Forest Tears. Forest Tears. And the tarot card that we got is Princess of Discs. Princess of Discs. I feel very strongly that what you bring to the table is just a tender heart, a strong empathy, and you care for the earth. You very, very much care for the earth. So that is the strength that you are bringing to this. You're very committed to the underdog, and you'll take steps to help the helpless. You'll take steps to help the helpless. You are pretty much you're not a bold person per se. You can even be seen as kind of shy and meek, but you will step up to the plate when there's a creature who is weak, or a creature who can't take care of themselves, especially when that creature is being abused. So you're a champion of the underdog. Spirit, what else can you tell me about the strengths of group 1? Okay, we got the Three of Wands, which is a card of virtue. So again, that goes right along with what we're saying here. The Princess of Discs and the Three of Wands. Again, you hold back until you're needed. You're not someone who jumps into the fray and gives your opinion right off the bat. You're generally sort of reserved, and you keep to yourself. But you will take a stand for the greater good, for the underdog, for the weak. You will stand up for them, for those who can't stand up for themselves. Spirit, thank you for that message. Could we have one more card, please, with regard to this question? Okay, the Hermit. So again, we're just saying that you are that quiet soul who most people don't look at and say, that's a powerful person there. But the thing about the Hermit is, the Hermit goes within him or herself, and they keep to themselves, and they perhaps even isolate themselves from other people. So you may be someone who really is not very comfortable associating with people. And that may be why you are drawn to very likely animals, also the earth, the forest, nature. You're very much drawn to nature. But the thing about the Hermit is, even though they are quiet and keep to themselves and are reserved, they are looking for and oftentimes have found this light, which is a light of just tremendous wisdom and understanding. And because they do go inside and they're so very, very quiet and pensive, they're brought to wisdom that a lot of other people never are. A lot of people are busy, and they're loud, and they miss things because they're making so much sound in the world themselves that there are things that they don't hear. There are subtler things that they don't see and hear, by virtue of not being quiet and being still. So this person, the Hermit, and also here, the keeper of the hive. See that bee there is guarding the hive. And this, the Princess of Discs, in this card, this is the journey of the sacred bee. The bee is covering her mouth, which often has been associated with a symbol of keeping secrets or silence, keeping silence. So again, we're very much seeing someone who is reserved and quiet and keeps to themselves. But the foresteers here, you care so very deeply for nature, and you will step up and be a champion for nature when it's needed. So that's the strength that you bring to this task of healing Mother Gaia. So, what is your mission, Group 1? Your mission. And this is really kind of interesting, Group 1, because the cards that we got the Spirit of the South. Spirit of the South. And if you'll notice, there is a great deal of fire on this card. The South in the medicine wheel is a time of great warmth and passion. It's a symbol of creativity, and so this symbol here, the Spirit of the South, is speaking of that great passion and almost a fieriness. And then we have the Queen of Wands, who is a very, very similar energy to this the Spirit of the South here. These are both very passionate, very fiery energies. So it's intriguing because the strength that you bring to the table is this reserved, quiet, almost delicate nature, but with a very strong spirit behind it. So your mission is to bring forth that strength that you have through action. This may be a tough mission for you. Let's get some additional cards and let's take a look at it, because right now I'm feeling like the mission that they're asking of you is to be more in the forefront, to take more action. Spirit, can we have some more cards, a couple more cards, please, for Group 1 for their mission? Okay, so we got the Nine of Wands, persistence, and then we also got the Moon card. Okay. So, the Moon and the Spirit of the South and the Queen of Wands, I'm getting sort of a opposite energy there, almost a dualistic energy. The Moon, the nighttime, is a time when obviously it's cooler, and it's quiet and it's peaceful. So what this is saying here is that you may have to, this card of persistence here, and the very fiery cards, which to me are speaking of the afternoon part of the day, the afternoon. So I think that what this is saying about your mission is that you may have to take on some things that are difficult for you, because you are this reserved kind of person who prefers to stay in the background. But because of this extreme need to heal Mother Nature right now, and you have such a strong passion for Mother Nature, that this is saying that you're going to have to step more into the light. And the Moon card here is telling you that you may have to take some time in the night hours, in the times that you can be alone, that you can be in solitude. You may have to shift your need for solitude to help you regenerate into the night hours. You might actually have to this is basically saying that you're going to have to, instead of being this quiet, in this place of solitude and perhaps shy, pensive, all of the time, Spirit is saying that for your mission, you need to take this great passion that you have for Mother Nature and actually act upon it, which the Moon card is saying this is not going to be easy for you. This is going to deplete your energy. It's going to feel really hard. But this card is saying that you will have a greater capability to regenerate and to heal at night. I'm just getting this really very peaceful, cool vibe, and that this will be sort of your refuge. The night will be your refuge. But during the day, your mission is going to be to actually take action, because your passion about nature is so much greater than so many people right now. So many people are, many people get caught up in the day-to-day necessities and making money and, taking care of their families and just doing the routine, difficult but necessary things, that they don't see the nature. They don't see the beauty in the world. You do. You see this, and you're passionate about it, and you have just this pain that is inflicted upon you in watching anything in nature that can't really speak for itself or stand up for itself being harmed. So because you have this passion, because you see this need, you're going to have to step up. It's not comfortable for you to do that. It's not comfortable for you to be here in the forefront. You would prefer to be here in the night, in the quiet, in the solitude, and you'll have that. Spirit is saying that it's going to give you a trade-off, and it's going to give you greater healing power and greater regenerating power in the night. This may be through your dreams. This may be through your sleep. You may be a night owl who likes to go out under the moon and moon bathe. Moon bathing may be something that really, really is useful for you. In fact, when I first saw the forest tears, my thought was forest bathing. And so this may be a substitute for going into the forest to do forest bathing. Bathing under the moon or just soaking in the moonlight actually has a greater capacity for you. It will have a greater capacity for you to regenerate you faster than the forest bathing, going out into nature that you typically will do now. This is going to give you the same type of rejuvenation, but it's going to be much more powerful for you. So Spirit is saying you have this ability, you have this passion to take on the things that you are passionate about and to heal them and to fight for them, I mean, this Queen of Swords, she is a fighter. You can tell she's a warrior. And the Nine of Wands, this card of persistence. You will have that persistence because you're not doing something or fighting for something just to earn a paycheck. You're doing something and fighting for something because you're passionate about it. You have this spirit of the South. You have this passion about what you feel strongly about. And what you feel strongly about is Mother Earth. So that's going to be your mission, and this is how you're going to survive it. This is how you're going to regenerate. Spirit, thank you for those messages. What is it that Group 1 is going to need to release? So the cards that we got for this are Birch and the King of Wands. So I'm feeling a very shadowy energy with both of these. And so I'm thinking that what this is beginning to say is that you're going to have to release your desire to stay in the shadows. Yeah, I think that's very much what these are saying. I mean, even the King of Wands is a powerful energy, but oftentimes the lion here, which it's fascinating that this is a lion as we're talking about the Lion's Gate. So the King of Wands here, the lion, typically lets in the wild, the lion will fight for the pride. He'll fight for dominance. But when it comes to hunting and supplying what the pride needs, it's typically the females that do that. So this card that we had here, the Queen of Wands, you are going to be that energy that takes that responsibility to fight for the greater good. This King of Wands is going to sit back in the shadows, and allow someone else to do the work, basically. And this birch card also, this face is back in the shadows, hiding behind these trees. So what you're going to need to release is your desire to stay in the shadows. Spirit, let's get some more messages on this, please. A couple more cards, please, for group 1. What they need to release. Yeah. Okay, so we got the Ten of Wands, which is a card of oppression, a burden. Yeah, so again, this card is, the hive is being closed down. It is being limited. It's being basically closed off. And so again, this is your desire to stay in the shadows, to hide, to close yourself off. And the thing about that is, we've got the Nine of Cups here. And so the Nine of Cups is about personal happiness. So I believe that this is saying that by releasing your desire to stay in the background, it might feel very uncomfortable at first. In fact, it probably will feel very uncomfortable. It will not feel like something that's going to make you happy. But it's absolutely necessary for you to release that desire to stay in the shadows, to be in the background, to close yourself off, in order to complete this mission of fighting for Mother Nature, to try and heal, to try and make the greater society aware that we need to heal the pain that we've inflicted on Mother Earth. So Spirit, thank you for those messages. And what will group 1 be bringing in? We got Sacred Temple, and we got the Root of the Powers of Water, which is the Ace of Cups. So Sacred Temple and the Ace of Cups, what you're bringing in here is a very strong sense of reverence. You already have this sense of wanting to protect the underdog, wanting to make sure that the weaker, the individual that's unable to fight for themselves is not harmed or damaged. You already bring that in. But what you're going to bring in anew is a higher understanding of this. You're going to bring in the understanding that not only do the animals and the plants need our protection, but you're going to bring in more of an understanding. You're going to level up. I mean, if this is I believe Metatron's cube on here. Also the 2D symbol of the Merkaba, if I'm not mistaken, that's surrounding this bee. So what you're bringing in anew is an understanding that not only are these is nature vulnerable to the attacks from humans, but that nature is absolutely sacred, and we it you already feel that nature needs our protection. But what you're going to come to understand is that by our protecting nature, she protects us. She, and it's beyond protection, she actually allows us to thrive. She allows us to survive. And so there's what you're going to be bringing in anew is a new understanding of the sacredness of nature. Not just that nature is vulnerable, but that nature, part of nature's strength is her vulnerability, and we have to protect her because she's vulnerable, but also because she is sacred, and we need that sacred nature to connect with. It is one of the greatest healing forces that there is in our world. So let's get a little bit more on that. Spirit, could we have a couple of more cards, please? I'm hearing put that back. A couple more cards, please, for what Group 1 will bring in anew here. Yeah. So we got the Hanged One. So again, you're bringing in a new perspective is what you're bringing in. You're bringing in a new understanding of the sacredness and the divinity and the strength of nature. I mean, you've been looking at nature with a very loving heart and seeing nature as vulnerable. And that's why you feel so strongly that you need to protect whatever is in nature, whatever this is that you feel is vulnerable. But what you're bringing in anew is a new understanding that there is a strength in nature as well. We've got the Five of Swords here, and the Five of Swords is all about this card says defeat, but the other thing about the Five of Swords is there is one winner. There is one winner in the Five of Swords card that triumphs over all. And so I believe that the message that this Five of Swords is saying on top of the rest of these cards is that there is a strength within nature, a singular strength that you are going to come to understand through this process of fighting for nature and stepping out of your comfort zone. You're going to start to understand, and you're going to actually not start to understand, you're going to complete the understanding that nature has this strength in its vulnerability. Its strength is that it can heal us. And so I'm having a hard time explaining what I'm trying to say. There's a very circular nature about this. There's a vulnerability in nature that requires us to protect it. But what you will come to see and understand and know within yourself is that nature has an incredible strength, even though it can be destroyed quite easily by humans. But nature's purpose here in this realm, and I have seen this without any doubt, is to serve our purpose of ascension. So even in being harmed, nature is serving the purpose that it is here to serve, which is to serve us as we ascend through a level of turmoil because we have free will. And it's a very difficult understanding, especially for people who love the underdog, love nature, love animals, beings that are vulnerable and fragile and want to protect them. But the whole purpose of animals and plants and nature and Mother Gaia is to support human beings. And I don't say that from an ego place. I don't know what the bigger picture is, but there is some bigger picture that the free will that we have as humans is going to somehow serve the divinity of all. And so we have to be allowed to struggle through our free will to get to a higher place. And nature is here to support that struggle. So I hope that makes sense. So the next position that we have is, how will you connect with the energies? And we have Warrior Woman and the King of Discs are the cards that we got. Warrior Woman and the King of Discs. Both of these energies are solid and immovable. So the way that you're going to connect with this new energy that's coming on is you are going to provide an anchor, a strength, a protector for the new energies that are coming through. Let's get some more cards on that. Spirit, can we have a couple of more cards for this position, please? How is Group 1 going to connect with the energies coming through? Yeah, beautiful. So we got the Sun, and we got the Ten of Cups, satiety. So yeah, this is just going to be solid and powerful. The way you're going to connect with the new energy is that you are going to, this greater power that you're going to gain from acting upon your passion about nature, and then the greater understanding that you're going to have about the place that nature holds in this world, is going to create this card, the satiety. It's going to create a place in you that is, the understanding is going to allow you to have a knowing that doesn't require proof. You're going to be, this card basically talks about being satisfied, and it's beyond even satisfied. You're just going to have a faith that, and the strength of this Sun card is amazing. You're going to have this unwavering, unshakable faith that what you are doing is powerful, is necessary, and is right. So that's how you are going to connect with the energies that are coming in. And you are going to anchor those energies here to help heal Mother Gaia. So the final step is, what is your victory? And the cards that we got are spiritual journey, which we've already talked about. You're definitely going on a spiritual journey, a greater understanding. And then the Eight of Discs, which is a card of mastery. So you are going to go on a spiritual journey that will bring you to a place of not only understanding what this new energy means and how to heal Mother Earth, but you're going to be able to actually do it. You're not just going to believe it. You're not just going to understand it. You're not just going to talk about it. You're going to do it. You're going to come to a place of mastery through this spiritual journey that you are undertaking. So Spirit, can we have just a couple more cards, please, on this last position? Yeah, the priestess. You're going to come to know things that most people don't. You will have just an incredible understanding of a very esoteric wisdom, wisdom that most people may never gain, wisdom that is hidden from most people. You are going to come to understand. Let's get one more card, please, Spirit. And the Nine of Swords. We got. So So the Nine of Swords, this card says despair on it, but what this is saying is that the mastery and the wisdom that you are going to gain through this spiritual journey is going to be something that's going to be able to stave off the despair that is being felt right now. There's a great deal of despair amongst humanity right now. There's so much division. There's so much poverty and just so much need and so much pain and grief. So this greater understanding, and this not just understanding but the ability to act on this understanding, and the actual act of acting on this understanding that you have, this mastery, this ability that you're going to gain through this spiritual journey is going to you see the darkness in this card that is shadowing the face behind it. This face behind is you. You're going to come out from behind all of the despair that the world is feeling right now, and you're going to make a difference. You're going to be able to make a difference. And I don't know if that difference is going to be just moving the understanding forward, that there is a better place, that there is another way, or if you're actually going to do something that shifts the understanding, and not just the understanding, but shifts the way that understanding is acted upon, like making new laws, or creating a new monetary system, or putting new protections in place. But something that you're going to do is going to greatly diminish, if not completely obliterate, the despair that the world is feeling right now. So let's go back to the original oracle card that we had. The original oracle card that you got was, I trust in the universe and I am ready to take the leap. So I think that fits pretty well with the rest of your reading. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope this helps. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading. The Clear Quartz Merkaba and the Dark Murky Inner Work Sigil. I'm doing this reading a little bit differently than I have in the past. I am going to use both oracle cards and tarot cards. So I will get an oracle card for each position to start, and then a tarot card for each position, and then we'll go through it that way and get some clarification. So, Spirit, thank you for your assistance with this reading. I would like to call in the higher selves of Group 2, whoever would like to join us here, please, as well as my own higher self, my spirit team, my divinity, and anyone else who's here for the greater good. Get some tarot cards here. Okay. So for the first position, which is what do you bring to the table, or what are your strengths? We got the Mountain and we got Change. So my feeling on this is that The strength that you bring is that you have a persistence about you. You are able to stick with something and make little inroads to gradually bring about change. It's like this stream that's coming down the mountain here is gradually eroding away and changing its course constantly, but not in a big way. It is just very persistent. It is it's slow and steady and persistent, and there's another word that I want, but it's eluding me right now. But you stick with things. You stick with things and you get the job done, and it doesn't have to be big and it doesn't have to be showy. But you also don't give up. You got a lot of endurance. So let's get a couple more cards on that and see if we get any more information for that. Please, Spirit, 2 more cards. Okay. We got the 6 of Pentacles. On this card it says success. And then we got alchemy, which is, let me think here. Oh, yes. Yes. This is the Temperance card, I believe. Yeah, Temperance, which totally makes sense. So again, Temperance is talking about being persistent, being steady, taking your time. And then success is talking about, as I said originally, with these cards, that persistence and that steady pace brings about the success that you want. And that this 3 of discs, or excuse me, the 6 of discs, very much is that type of success. This isn't like a flash in the pan. This isn't like a suddenly winning. This is hard work. This is balanced work, and bringing about change, a successful change, and a change that's very solid, not a change that is going to just be brief. This isn't like I'm going to move over here for a little bit, and then I can move right back. This is more like I'm going to build a wall right here to change the space permanently. But it'll take me a little bit longer, but now I'm going to have this space that works better for me. So that's the kind of change that this talks about, is again a persistent, slow, steady work ethic that brings about a permanent change. So that's what you bring to the table. So in the second position here, we have, what is your mission? And we got run with the wolves and the Empress. So your mission with these 2 cards is to, it says run with the wolves, not be a wolf, not attack with the wolves, just run with the wolves. And then the Empress here, the Empress is someone who takes care of oftentimes children. She's a very motherly energy, although she can also be sort of just very passionate in energy, but she is concerned with bringing people together, bringing things together in a nurturing kind of way, but not nurturing in like an old grandmotherly type of way. She's nurturing in making sure that everyone has what they need, and everyone is fruitful, and everyone is included and felt and feels included. And so running with the wolves along with the Empress Your mission is going to be to support those who are on the front lines. You're going to be the one who not only supports in like an abundant way, someone who brings food, someone who brings supplies, someone who makes sure that everybody has a place to sit, or a ride to the event. You're also going to be the one who supports morally, and so you're going to raise people's spirits. You're going to keep people engaged. You're going to keep people enthusiastic, and just make them feel like they're making a difference. So this is going to be your mission, is to support those who are fighting on the front lines, those who are doing really, really difficult work that might be something that they'd be otherwise would give up on. But because you're there supporting them and providing them, kind of the back scene, the back stage, and also encouraging them as they go along, they'll be able to stick with this task, whatever their task is. So let's get a couple more cards on that, please, Spirit. Yeah. Very, very much so. We got the Queen of Cups, which is pretty much the same as the Empress card. This is the woman who provides emotional support for everyone around her. She makes everyone feel welcome. She makes everyone feel like they have a place. She makes everyone feel loved. And then we also got the Priestess. And by getting the Priestess, what we are being made to understand here about your mission is that you are going to see things that other people don't. You're going to notice things. You might be the one who notices when something runs out or is about to run out, some sort of a supply that no one else is paying any attention to. You're also going to be the one who sees when somebody who's acting very strong, who's acting like they are still with it, who's acting like they're still fighting hard, you're going to be the one who's going to see that they're starting to waver. You're going to be the one who's going to be able to pick up on that when nobody else sees it, and you're going to be the one who's going to come to the rescue of that person and pull them down for a bit, or give them a little extra attention, or extra supplies, or whatever it is that they need. You're going to be the one that sees the things that nobody else sees, that's going to help you provide this support, that's going to be your mission in healing Mother Gaia. So the next position is what you must release. So the cards that we got for this, we got the Spirit of the South, which is a card of very fiery passion. And then we got the Three of Swords, which is a card of great, great sorrow. So what you're going to have to release is you have been wounded in the past in a very significant way, and you have this pervasive sorrow in your heart because of that, because there was maybe a childhood trauma that you went through. Maybe it's someone that you lost. Maybe it is something that didn't work out for you. I feel like I'm getting a strong feeling that that's part of it, that there was something that you had a mission, and maybe this goes along with your role as supporting others. It may have been that at one point you wanted to be that frontline person. You wanted to mount a charge and pick up a cause and make a difference in the world, and it didn't work out. For some reason, you didn't have what you needed to see it through, and it really wounded you. But what you learned from this, I feel like, is that it was because you didn't have someone supporting you that you weren't able to complete this. So that's what led you to understand what your mission is here. But you still have this sense of failure, this sense of heartache from whatever that was that didn't work out. So you need to release that now, because what you're providing now, what your mission is going to be to provide this support, is going to be as necessary as being the frontline person who takes the fight to the others. And you know that because that's what brought you down here. Let's get a couple more cards on that, Spirit, please. But it still makes you feel like you're not enough. You still have this feeling that you didn't do enough, that you didn't work hard enough, that you did it wrong, whatever it is that's holding you back. Yeah. We got this card in the last reading as well. This King of Wands energy here. The Wands energy is a very fiery, action-packed energy. But the King of Wands here is depicted as a lion. And the male lion, the king of the pride of lions, steps back and allows the women to fight for him. He stands, he will defend his position in the pride, but he doesn't do the hunting. He doesn't provide for the pride. He just is sort of the figurehead, basically. So I feel like that's what this is saying that happened to you. You may have felt like you needed to be at the front, at the forefront of everything to really make a difference. But in fact, your support role here, like the female lions in the pride, is actually much more valuable than just being the one up front, the face that everybody sees, but not really providing the power or the strength behind the drive. The other card that we got is the root of the powers of water. And this is the Ace of Water. But the way that they talk about it in this deck, the root of the powers of water. So water is that nurturing energy. Water is emotion. Water is intuition and female receptivity. It's the divine feminine. So being the root of the power, again, we're going back to, you're not the face of the power, you're the root of it. Where the true strength lies, the true emotional strength lies at the root. And you don't see the root. I mean, when you look at a plant, you don't see the root, it's under the ground. But without that root, the plant would die. So this is saying that you are this root of the power of water. So whatever it was that you tried to accomplish with a fiery upfront kind of energy in the past and it didn't work out, you need to let that go. It wasn't meant to work out. You were meant to understand that you need to be in this supportive role, and that's the true power behind all of this. You're the person who can persist through, and we talked about this here. You're the person who persists no matter how long it goes on, no matter how much supplies you blow through, no matter how long you have to stay up and stay awake. You're the one who's going to persist, and you're the one who's going to hold up everyone else so that they can be that front line. They can be the one who shows their face in the front and makes a big impact, but without you, they wouldn't be able to do that. So what you will be bringing in anew, we've got Medicine Woman and the Moon. So again, this is talking about you are going to have the esoteric wisdom, the understanding, like we had back here with the Empress. You see things that others don't see. You're going to be the one. The Medicine Woman is the one who can heal everybody. The Moon is that secret, sacred energy. So you're going to have the understanding of how to support everyone in order for them to achieve their greatest power. And there will be very few people who will have this understanding, but you will be one of them. You are one of the few who will be able to see the hidden messages. You'll be able to see the the greater support. This woman here, if you notice, she's got almost like a framework or a scaffolding. She's not just a solid silhouette. There's all of this intricacy within the silhouette. So you're going to be the one who understands that intricacy. And here on this one as well, down below the B, there's all of these like vine-like things that are crisscrossing here. There's this very intricate network. So you're going to be the one who's going to be able to understand that intricate network and be able to provide what it needs so that it doesn't fall apart. That's going to be what you're going to bring anew. So this is something that you're going to come to either understand better and excel at, or it may be a very new understanding for you. It could be that you have had this energy and that your mission is to support, but that you've always still been pursuing this, being up front, being the face of it, starting a cause, doing it all on your own, being the one to start this whole thing. So it could be that you're still pursuing this, and maybe that's why you need to release this. It might not just be that you have this sense of failure. It could be that you're still trying to do this, but you're not cut out for it. This isn't your mission. Your mission is to support. So here again, what you bring anew is this new understanding that you're not the front lines, you're not the leader, you're not the boss of things. You are the invaluable support that's going to keep everybody able to work together so that the entire process works properly and flawlessly. So let's get a couple more cards on that, please, Spirit. So we got the Five of Cups and we got the Two of Swords. So the Five of Cups, this is a card of regrets and of disappointment. So initially, this new understanding that you are not to be the leader, you're not the boss, you're not the face that everybody sees, is going to be a big disappointment to you. And it may be a big disappointment to someone else as well. If you have someone in your life that is expecting you to do great things, which you will do great things, but you just won't do them up front and in the spotlight the way somebody else might. So this could be your disappointment at not being in the spotlight. This could be someone who's depending on you or expecting this from you. This could be their disappointment as well. But what you're going to come to find is that in making the choice to be this supportive energy, you're going to feel much more centered. You're going to feel much more successful, and it's going to bring you a peace. Here we had the heart that's being pierced by the swords, and here we have the heart that is sending its energy out through the swords. So this new understanding that you're going to come to, that this is your role, that this is your mission, is going to bring you a great deal of peace, a great deal of, you're going to be very centered. You're going to feel very fulfilled with regard to this. So how are you going to connect with these energies? And this is amazing. We got River Woman and we got the Hierophant. So the way that you're going to connect with these energies is you are going to become, and you are already, you just don't realize it, you're going to become the source, the River Woman, the source of the water. See, she is the one who is pouring into the river. She is starting the river. You are going to become the teacher, the source, the go-to. You're going to be the person who knows virtually everything about how to keep things moving and running and interacting and like a well-oiled machine. That's how you're going to receive these new energies. You are going to be this, people are going to be blown away by your ability to handle so many things all at once, to be able to support so many different activities and so many different people and so many different pursuits. You're just going to be the source of wisdom, the source of support. This is going to be you. This is how you're going to receive these energies, is by becoming or stepping into your power of being this amazing teacher, this amazing and it's not even going to be so much of a teacher role for you. It's just going to be that you're going to be the one who has all of this wisdom. You have so much wisdom. It's like the Buddha. You are going to just fall easily into beginning to understand everything, how everything comes together, how everything interacts, and you're going to be able to calmly and at peace. We have both of these individuals. If you look at their faces, they're both just calm and at peace. They're so at peace within themselves, and that's going to be you. You're going to be so filled with your confidence and knowing how to make everything flow that you're always going to be able to meet any challenge with peace. Let's get a couple more cards on this, please, Spirit. Okay. So we got the Four of Discs, power. This is also a card of stability. So you are going to be that stable foundation. You're going to be the one that keeps your head when everybody else is losing theirs. And then the other one is the Seven of Wands, the Valor. This is a card of rising above all of the turmoil that's going on. So exactly going along with the rest of this message. You're going to be the one who can step above, who can see things from a higher perspective. You're going to be the one who can rise above all of the craziness that's going on, and stay calm and stay in control. So beautiful messages there. Thank you, Spirit, for that. And then, what is your victory? So we got the card Rise and we got the Devil. So your victory is you're going to rise above the things that hold other people back. The Devil is a card of being held back by addictions, bad habits, things that you can't seem to break a connection to. You're going to be the one that rises above all of those things that hold people back. That's what your victory is going to be. Let's get a couple more cards on that, please, Spirit. Yeah, absolutely. We got the Strength card and we got the King of Cups. So again, this is you maintaining a sense of calm, a sense of peace, but a very loving sense of calm and peace, a very supportive energy, a very supportive emotion, and obviously the Strength card, inner strength. This just goes right along with all the rest of it as well. So that is your reading. Let's take a look one more time at the Sigil Oracle card. It says dark, murky, inner work. And that dark, murky inner work is letting go of this desire to be the leader, to be at the forefront, to be in the spotlight. Once you let go of this needing to be the one to get the recognition, this is a very ego place right here. So once you let go of that ego and realize that to support, to serve is the greatest good, it's so rewarding. And that you are good at it, you are the best at it, then you will have done this dark, murky inner work. So that's what I have for you, Group 2. I hope it helps. Hi, Group 3. This is your reading. The Brass Dragon and the Willingness to Try. I'm going to call this group the Brass Dragon and Willingness. So I'm using oracle cards and tarot cards today. So I'm going to get one oracle card and one tarot card for each of the positions before we start. And then we'll get some clarification with additional additional tarot cards once we get going. But I'm going to start with this. getting all of the cards out on the table, the initial cards, before we go over them. Spirit, thank you for providing assistance with this reading for the highest good. I would like to call in the higher selves of all those who wish to receive a reading and who would like to join us, as well as my own higher self and my spirit team, and whoever else is here for the highest good of all. Okay, group 3, let's see what we've got. For the first position, we have got, what do you bring to the table, or what is your strength? And the cards that we are getting, I probably need to sort of cover this one just to be safe, is the womb card and the recovery card. So, what you are bringing to this Lion's Gate portal and the desire to help heal Mother Earth. This is the Four of Swords, healing. So what I'm immediately thinking of is, you know, the trauma that a woman goes through when she delivers a baby. But because she now has that baby, she puts aside any pain or weakness that she has, because her first duty, her first love, and she just is compelled beyond all else to care for this new life that she's brought into the world. And so because of that, mothers have an amazing capability to recover quickly after the birth of a child. The birth of a child is a very, I hesitate to use the word traumatic event, but it's a very difficult event that puts a human body through a lot of trauma, quite honestly. But mothers, someone who has gone through the birth of a child versus someone who has gone through some sort of accident, that both inflict similar trauma on the body, a mother with a new child will recover much faster sometimes than someone who has been inflicted trauma through an accident, because the focus of the new mother is on the baby. Sorry, guys. That's an interesting tune. Maybe some of you have had to leave a child. And that recovery may have been much, much more difficult if you had to give up a child. So again, I believe what we're talking about here is that having the focus outside yourself, some altruistic focus outside of yourself, or the focus, a loyalty to something outside of yourself, is what you bring to the table. You bring the ability to persevere for something that you are invested in. You bring the ability to recover from disappointments, to recover from physical harm, to be strong, to bounce back. You bring this energy of being able to bounce back for something that looks very difficult, for something that is somewhat traumatic. That's what you bring to the table. That's your strength. Because you are able to focus outside of yourself to see the goal outside of you, as opposed to focusing in on the difficulties or the damages to yourself. So again, a much more altruistic focus is what you can bring to, is your strength that you bring. Let's get a couple more cards on this, Spirit. Get a little more clarity on this one. This is a little tricky, but I think I'm hovering close to it. Yeah, the Six of Cups. We got the Six of Cups and the Knight of Discs. The Six of Cups, this card lists it as pleasure, but the Six of Cups is also an energy of children, or nostalgia. So again, this is being able to focus on the needs of someone who's more vulnerable than you, and to be able to being able to put aside your own needs for those of someone else who is less capable than you, who's less able, and also being able to heal. You're a healer as well. This recovery, I just realized that. This recovery card, you are a healer. So you bring that to the table as well. So you are a healer, and you're a healer who is able to project your healing on others rather than keeping it for yourself. The Knight of Discs is someone who I'm getting the feeling and the message from this that when the going gets tough and most people would like to run, you will stay. So when this is a difficult task, when you don't feel up to the task, but you know that there is someone out there who's counting on you, you'll stick with it. You're the one who's going to stay, and you're going to endure even when it's really hard, even when you don't feel 100%, even when you don't feel like you are up to the task. You will push yourself to stay and to help, because that's your moral code. So that's what you bring to the table. So your mission is the next position, and we got Fern and Root of the Powers of Fire, which would be the Ace of Wands here. Fern and Root of the Powers of Fire. I want to look at the book for this one and see what it says about Fern. Because I'm just not entirely sure what the message is here. So Fern says, ferns begin to sprout during the early days of spring, breaking through damp, packed winter soil. At first they are curled inward and compact until they free themselves from the constriction around them. But once they rise above the heaviness and the darkness, they are free to unravel and expand into the world. Pulling the fern card is an indication. Cord. Why did I say cord? You're pulling a cord. I'm getting a picture of a parachute and pulling the ripcord. So you may be taking a leap of faith. Pulling the fern card is an indication that you may have some lower vibrations swirling around you. Perhaps you have toxic people in your life, such as a cruel coworker, a critical parent, or a gossiping friend. It's easy to get trapped in lower vibrational energies, especially when that is what you know. But you are an enlightened soul and can rise above through the negativity and stagnation. Okay, so root of the powers of fire along with fern is saying that your mission is to take action when you see injustices. And that goes right along with this here. Even if you don't feel entirely up to the mission, this is your mission. Your mission is to the Ace of Wands is all about starting a new action. So when you see something that is unjust or unfair or inflicts harm on someone else or on the earth, then your mission is to take action. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information about what that action looks like. Or, yeah, Spirit, can we get a couple more cards on this? Give us some more clarification here. That's too many, thank you. Let's just get one more. Yeah. So we got the Five of Wands and we got the Ten of Swords. So what you are taking action against is if someone takes advantage of someone and inflicts harm upon them. So if someone, especially through a means of trying to, like gaslighting, if somebody is trying to confuse someone to make them believe that they don't deserve something or that they deserve some sort of punishment, you're going to take action against that. When you see this dark, stagnant energy, as it starts to unfurl, somebody who is coercing someone, or someone who is cheating someone, or someone who is just being untruthful, who's taking advantage of someone, when you see this start to happen, when you see someone inflicting harm through manipulating someone or causing confusion so that they are, especially if this is someone who's vulnerable, like an elderly person, you're going to take action. You're going to take action against that. You're going to come to the rescue. See this little guy, he almost reminds me of like a knight on a horse with his spear. He's going to come to the rescue. You're going to come to the rescue. If you see an injustice where someone is trying to take advantage of someone, especially through coercion or through, what's the word that I want? Through just tactics of being untrue, telling them lies, confusing them. So you're gonna come. That's your mission, is to come to the aid of people like that, of people who are being taken advantage of, especially vulnerable people who are being taken advantage of. Perhaps you're some sort of a social worker or some sort of a liaison for, and maybe you're not yet. Maybe this is just something that you will do. So, what must you release? So the next position, the first card that we got, the Oracle, is You Are Sacred. And then the other card is Alchemy in this deck. It's the Temperance card. So what you need to release is your timidity. You need to become more comfortable. See this woman? This woman. She's kind of large and she's unclothed, so she is potentially, and it looks like she has had a child here and has kind of a belly. So potentially she may not be comfortable with her body. She's covering up her body. So what you need to release is being timid about accepting your divinity. You are sacred here. You are sacred, and the Temperance card is all about, kind of trying to not be extra, not vary from the middle of the road, not being noticed or stand out. So that's what you need to release. You need to release that timidity about being who you are, about stepping into your power. Let's get a couple more cards on this, please. That's a few too many here. Just 2 more cards, please. Okay, we got the Queen of Discs and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, again, see this Queen of Discs, she is being very timid, and Discs is about kind of being solid and staying. So basically she's kind of staying in her lane. She is trying to just kind of hide and not be noticed. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, and he is very powerful. He's a very powerful looking individual. He is a very powerful individual. This is the knight in the deck who takes action. He doesn't think twice. He just jumps in and does whatever needs to get done. So what you need to leave behind is being timid about jumping into your power. There's that. So what will you bring in anew? So what we have, and this is intriguing, what you will bring in anew is the ancients. A little bit of a juxtaposition there, and then judgment. So I feel like, I just got a real strong feel that what you're going to be bringing in, you're going to be breaking generational curses here. There have been judgments held against your ancestors. And okay, wow, this is really powerful. This is exactly the message that led me to the understanding that we have to help the earth heal the trauma that she has taken on. Because of the judgments in the past that the ancients and the judgments that were passed, past judgments in ancient times, and all the way up to modernity. It's these judgments that people have had, that they've passed on others, that they've inflicted on others, that have created the trauma that has gotten sunk into Mother Earth. So what you are bringing in anew is the ability to break these generational curses, these generational traumas that have been inflicted through the years. Wow, that's a strong one. Okay, let's get a couple more cards on that one. This is really cool. And we got the Sun. So these traumas that have been inflicted have created an energy that is a low vibrational, a very dark energy. You didn't get the dark murky card, but this is kind of the opposite of that. So by breaking these by healing this generational trauma, you're going to be bringing in a much more powerful and lighter energy, which is exactly what we need. So that's what you're bringing in anew. Let's get one more card on this. Thank you. We got the Princess of Wands. Yeah. So this is a new ability to take action, because this trauma is going to be released through something that you're doing. You're going to step into this power that's going to help to release the trauma that's stuck in Mother Earth. It's going to bring about a much more powerful and lighter and joyful energy. And the Princess of Wands is all about starting new action. So this is going to start a new, I think this is going to actually start a new energy, an ascended energy. Yeah, because the Lionsgate portal is all about the star of Sirius, aligning with our sun and creating that much more brightness, that much more solar energy that we can take in and use. So yeah, so this is what you're bringing in anew, is stepping into this power and being able to actually participate in the healing of Mother Gaia in a very powerful way. So wow, go you. Okay, so the next position that we have, or the next question that we have, is how will you connect with the energies? And what we got is gatherer and success. So that's pretty self-explanatory there. You're going to be gathering success. You are going to you're going to be someone who's going to pull together people who are going to be successful in this quest to heal Mother Earth, which is way cool, because all of these people individually, all of the healers that are participating in this action of healing Mother Gaia, this mission of healing her, all of these people individually are so needed. But what I have found in my life, and it's been documented, is that when people come together to channel energy, when people come together to meditate, when people come together to pray, when people come together to pull divinity down to the earth, when they come together to do that, not separately. Separately is great. We all need to do that. We all should meditate. We all can pray. We all can do whatever the things are that helps us to feel that divinity. But when we come together as a cohesive group, that power is amplified tenfold, 100-fold. It's greatly amplified. So you are going to be the gatherer of these individuals into a group. So that is really, really amazing. Spirit, can we have another couple cards, please, for this amazing message? Oh my goodness, yes. We got the Empress, who is one of the most nurturing cards in the deck. So you're going to pull these people together in a way that they feel connected. You are going to bring that emotional connection for them. And then we've got the Seven of Wands, which on this card it says Valor, but this is a card of rising above and having a higher perspective. So you're going to be the person that has the perspective, that understands that by pulling these people together under this umbrella of this nurturing, loving energy to connect in whatever way these healers are adept at, whether that's Reiki, whether that's meditation, whether that's praying, whether that's sound healing, whatever the modality is, or perhaps even just being together. You're going to be the one who's got a higher perspective and can see who these people are that need to come together and how to fit these things together, how to create this greater energy and you're going to be the one that does it. You're going to be the one that pulls this all together, which is amazing. And we've got the levers at the bottom of the deck. So again, that's about connecting, whether that be one-on-one or whether that be in a group. So, and it's funny, this is the last group that I'm doing, and this is the last question that I have. And the question says, what is your victory? And the card that we got is the Six of Wands, and I don't know if you can read the bottom, but it says victory. It's the victory card. We also got the Spirit of the South here, which is a hand that is fiery and basically holding fire, able to wield fire. So your victory is victory itself. You are just going to have a great, whatever you do is going to manifest in, this is a card of action. And this is fiery, passionate action. So whatever you put your mind to, it's going to succeed. So let's get a couple of other cards on that. Please, Spirit. 2 more cards here. So maybe we can get a little more clarity on what that might be or how that's going to look. Okay. So we got the Queen of Cups and we got the Change. The Two of Discs. So the way I'm seeing this is that your victory is going to be taking an action that is going to change the world into a more compassionate place. You are going to change the world into a more compassionate place. The Queen of Cups is like one of the most compassionate cards in the deck. So yeah, that's your victory. You're going to be able to move the world to a more compassionate place, which is exactly what we need to heal this trauma that Mother Earth is holding away from us so that we don't have to feel the trauma that we've inflicted on one another for eons. So we're going to be able to you're going to be able to change the earth, change the overall energy to a more compassionate one, which is exactly what we need. The message that I got today started off by hearing a Rush song on the radio. My radio just turned on of its own free will, which it does periodically, and it was at the start of a song. This was actual FM radio, and the song was, I think it's called Closer to the Heart, and it says, the men who hold high places will be the ones to start to mold a new reality closer to the heart. So this card is talking about that change of changing the new reality to a more compassionate one, which is exactly what we need. So the Oracle card, if we want to look back at that, was the willingness to try. So I feel like you are this powerful individual. You need to leave behind this not stepping into your power, this fear of being seen, and the willingness to try. Have the willingness to try. So that's what I have for you, Group 3. I hope that this has been helpful. Bye-bye.